When we first started, wasn't really about black metal in general, which I don't mean is that Cradle of Filth jumped on the trend or anything, because we were going a lot longer, before most of these bands. The whole purpose of Cradle of Filth was, and is now, about atmosphere. We have a shirt entitled Nocturnal Supremacy, and it depicts on the back in our usual artistic style. One of the women's wearing what is similar or akin to an SS cap, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way it's aimed at. It's more symbolism, dominatrix perhaps. Nationalism, racism, fascism doesn't come into the music at all. If anything, I would consider it as being misanthropic. I think people understand that about Cradle of Filth, but our mentality is a little bit more mature than, bringing people down to just skin level, skin colour. I believe that hatred's more than skin deep. I've always lived in in the heart of the English countryside. I spent the last 2 years living in a house that probably predates Australia, 1685. It's not unique because where we live, the majority of the houses, are of that age. It's a county that's known throughout England as the Witch County. It's a particularly strange place. It has a certain atmosphere to it. And yeah, that does have an influence. For example, just one example, or two examples, Matthew Hopkins, the Witchfinder General, as popularised by Vincent Price's film. His trail blazed from East Burgolt through Hadley, which is the place we live, right through to Lavenham, where most debauched of his crimes were committed against mostly innocents. There's a lot of monuments in our village with testaments to his cruelty. As well as that Borley Rectory stood was about 8 miles from where we live, which was reputably the most haunted area or house in the entire world. The ghost hunter Harry Price investigated it, and he was totally fascinated with the place, and he went everywhere. That's now since burned down under mysterious circumstances. There's a load of weird shit that goes down there. So much so that a record company friend came to visit us, and she now lives in Hadley. She's fallen in love with it. She's got a fucking cool house as well, on the edge of the graveyard. Who've seen things or people or shapes or felt things in our house on a regularly when they visit. And me and my fiance have a lot of cats, and every now and then there'll just be some really strange thing where collectively they'll just go absolutely apeshit for no particular reason, and always at the same spot. There's weird things happen in the house, but as it happens, despite using a Ouija board in there and reading tarot and stuff, I personally haven't seen anything. I felt it, but it's never been anything definitive. Well, whatever the reason is, whether it's just the fact that there's stigma attached, and a murder scene, for example. If you know that someone's been murdered in the house, it almost becomes sinister. There's a sinister air there, and so everybody's belief in that one sinister air would probably lead to a kind of a psychosis in that particular area, concentrated force. So whether it is just hysteria or, as you've said, like a spiritual force, it does happen, yeah, for sure. Living serpents in office inside every day to liberate your soul, blinding loves to leather. I'd say it has the same feel as Dusk and Embrace, that kind of theatric feel. something akin to soundtrack quality. That's what we were intended to do with Dusk and Embrace. Make it sound like it wasn't just 6 musicians playing with, you know, a few backing musicians drafting here and there. We wanted to give it a soundtrack quality, something that was like music for the new Armageddon or something like that. But the new album is taking that one step further, but yeah, I would say the same. The romantic stuff has become more romantic, the fast stuff has become faster. A semi-fictional, like occultist treatise on the life and times of Elizabeth Bathory, my heroine. And when I say sort of semi-fictional, I mean it's based upon her life, but it's got my little touches to it. I fucked her lip up. That sounded all really music-y and stuff like that, because I hate all that bullshit. But no, it's just, I think, your outlook on, you know, if you're happy with what you're doing, I think that plays an important part in it. And you just exercise yourself. You don't just suddenly, you know, I mean, if somebody would say, right, go on, do something off the album now, I couldn't, because, you know, you can't just slip in and out of it. You have to practice. You don't rehearse something, you never get any better. And you have to have, I mean, like last night, we played for almost an hour, 50 minutes, something like that. It came off, it was cool. Totally cool, it's not a problem. If you get a good mix, we always have really long soundtracks to get the balance right. Because, you know, like doing high and low and what have you, if you don't get your monitors right, you don't know where to pitch from and you end up destroying your throat. But if everything's cool, you can hear yourself, you know, you're familiar with how you can create sounds and stuff. You know, you remember you're jumping around as well, you're fucked. Especially in Australia, it's so fucking hot.
I'm Stuart from Cradle Of Filth and I play the guitar.
I am John, I play guitar, Cradle Of Filth.
Hi, I'm Rob and I'm the bass player for Cradle Of Filth.
I'm Nicholas from Cradle Of Filth and I'm the drummer.
Hi, I'm Les, Cradle Of Filth, and keyboard player. And I rock for the Lord.
I respect Cradle no matter what. You know, we're always going to have our own sound, but it's always going to be evolving. That's the most sensible thing, you know, you've got to do. You can't just churn out another album exactly the same. You know, you've got to keep on doing it, but stick to your sort of roots and stuff.
Extremely extreme. Heavier than the last one, faster than the last one, more melodic than the last one.
Check it out, I'm sure you won't be disappointed. It's an inferior concept. Man's intellect, it's like good, evil. I mean, you could do something good and it'd be evil to someone else.
You know, obviously, you meet the guys, you talk to them. You know, yeah, we kill goats every night and go out and fucking rape virgins. But, you know, what a lot of shit. Also, you know, like when people look back over the years and what people have said about heavy metal bands now, if you know, like the 80s, the late 70s, early 80s metal bands come up who were being accused of being like AC/DC and stuff. Where the fuck did anybody get the idea that AC/DC was satanic? They just drink, you know, sing about drinking and shagging women and having a good time. And I really don't understand it. I don't understand where it comes from and what the fuck they're talking about, because it's the biggest load of shit ever. And people who are spreading this stuff, they're the real evil ones.
Everyone's got their own points of view. Good and evil are just little things put down, yeah, like little labels. That's that.
It's all part of society. Society produces this kind of phenomenon, if you know what I mean.
As for the Satanist thing, yeah, another pigeonhole.
If a guy goes out and rapes a little girl, then he's evil, you know.
it's just energy in its purest form. It's loud, it's raw, and it's got a tune to it, you know. It's the embodiment of chaos. It's the nastiest form of music I think there is, and the more extreme you play it, well, it's down to you how you portray it. It's an art form.
Not everybody likes it, but people who do like it feel, you know, passionate about it.
It's got to be what turns you on at any one point, but at the same time you've got to like appreciate a band for what it's doing, rather than like just like go for anything that just comes along because it's like the next trend. I mean, you know, like Black Sabbath, they're so diverse. You don't need a new trend because every new song that they've done is a new trend.
There's so many different ways to play. You can be really over the top extreme, you can be really melodic about it, but metal, it's got to be metal. You know, it's got to be fucking grinding, it's got to be powerful. It's, you know, a lot of emotion.
I don't know, there's something about it which draws you to it. I can't explain. It's just something, you know, I heard and I just thought, wow, you know, this is really good. I got more and more involved and interested in it.
I just liked extreme music from early, you know, from when I was early teens. And